my name's Peter Crago. I'm from a company called Ignition Car Parts. Ignition Car Parts, we test and repair distributors. On the bench here I have a Mitsubishi Space Style distributor. I'm just going to show you roughly and quickly how we test and make sure that the distributor is working properly. First of all, we need to test to see if the hall sensor, which is this part here in the distributor, is actually working, because this is the part that sends a signal to the ECU unit to tell the distributor when to fire. Well, it tells the ECU unit, then the ECU unit tells the distributor when to fire. Now, as you can see, there's a big metal plate here. It's what they call like a chopper, and it actually goes through the sensor. As you can see, the sensor here. So if we turn that distributor around, you can see the sensor going through, thus like this. Every time that goes through, that makes a pulse and sends a voltage up to 7 volts to the ECU unit, which then in turn comes up this wire here, this orange wire, okay, and triggers off the amplifier which is inside the distributor here. Right, to simulate this, what we're going to do first of all is, if I turn this around, I'll show you what I mean. Turn that. Okay, we're going to run it through a ECU unit. Inside this box here, okay, is a ECU unit. Now, if I turn it on, okay, and you will see this voltage going up to 7 volts. This is because there is a gap between the chopper and the hall sensor. As you can see, I'll bring this down here, there's a gap. If I turn this chopper to this point, there is no gap at all. Okay, it stops the signal going through. As you can see, there's now no voltage. So if I turn this by hand, you won't be able to see me turn it by hand, but if I turn it, you'll see that it goes up and down like that. So we know that that hall sensor is correct. This particular hall sensor works at about 7 volts. Okay, there is hall sensors that work at sort of 5 volts, 3 volts, 2 volts. Some of them even just at half a volt, but this one works at 7 volts, and obviously we know that that one's okay. Right, our next little test, okay, is to make sure that the distributor fires through the ECU unit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to connect up a live wire to this point here. This is the wire that goes to the opposite side of the coil. So as the ECU unit gets this signal coming through here, okay, that triggers the amplifier, okay, which sends a electric pulse to one side of the coil, and this live wire here is on the other side of the coil, thus producing a rather powerful spark. So we've now got this connected up to here. Okay, so what I will do now is I'll turn this switch up here. So now that bypasses this gauge and takes it straight through the ECU. So as you can see, as I turn this now, what will happen is I will turn that slowly. Okay, so like this. Okay, and that will produce a spark when I turn everything on. 1 second. From there. Okay, right, now as I'm turning that, as you can see, if I can do this a little bit better for you, a better angle. Right, I'm turning that by hand, and as you can see, there is a spark. So now if we turn this drill on, okay, this distributor is now running at about 800 revs, which is roughly tick over speed on most cars. As you can see, it's running. Now, I'll put this TV in. Snap the wire out, so I'll slip it into you. Push it back in again. What happened was I just pulled the wire out accidentally as I leaned over. Okay, so as you can see, we have a very good spark there. Okay, it's running okay. That's on tick over, so we know that car will be ticking over okay. Now the biggest problem you need now is to make sure that the car runs at high speed. Now obviously with a drill like this running at sort of 8,000 revs, the distributor will be going all over the place. So what we found out is better to do is to give the distributor a halt signal. Okay, now this is the little machine we have here. This is the machine. This is a pulse generator. It's made by us, Ignition Car Parts. We actually made this little machine ourselves. It's very good. We've got a little timer on here. Okay, so we can run it for 1 minute or 2 minutes or so. So we'll show you how it works. We turn off this drill first of all. Okay, let's turn that off. Okay, so we don't need that on no more. Okay, we'll need to take off our wires. Actually, let's turn our ECU unit off first. That's better, and our power supply. Right, we'll pull them wires out of there. Okay, now obviously we need to connect up the wires that we got here on our plug. Now this particular Mitsubishi, it has a hall signal on the third wire in here. So if I connect that up, as you can see. Okay, and the fourth one is the earth. Okay, right, and on this end one here, we need the power supply for the actual ignition coil. So we've got a little wire there that we put in, which is quite easy to put in, and I'll just put a live wire on there like so. Okay, don't let that touch the earth. We don't want that going bangers, do we? Okay, so we've now got that. We're now going to run this little machine that goes up to about 24,000 revs per minute, which is quite a speed. Right, so what we do now is we'll switch this on. Okay, this is the little button we use to switch the whole unit on. So if I just press that, okay, we've then got our power supply ready for here. Okay, as you can see, we've got a bit of a dicey connection there. Okay, in a minute. Okay, right. You can see that's going pretty fast now. Giving a beautiful spark. That's running mostly at about, well, I can tell you exactly right now, it's actually running at about 12,000 revs at the moment. It's still increasing. There's no car that would actually ever run at this sort of speed, so it's quite a good test to make sure that the coil is running absolutely at capacity. Most cars run at sort of 60-70 mile an hour at maybe 3,500 to 4,000 revs. So as you can see, this would be running a lot faster than that. I think the speed of a Veyron at 220 mile an hour, I should think, this sort of speed. Okay, that was our little timer. Okay, and we timed that for 1 minute, and that cut out at 1 minute, which was absolutely spot on. We can actually run this machine a little bit further, if we want, a little bit longer if we want to. So we just turn up this gauge here. Okay, so we can run it as long as we want. But you would get bored after watching sparks running for hours on end. So anyway, so that's how we test all our little bits and pieces. So if you want your distributor testing, okay, you can send it in to us. We will test it for you. We don't charge anything for testing. Okay, if you do need repairing, something needs putting on, we do that free of charge as well. You only pay for the parts, which are advertised on our website at www.ignitioncarparts.co.uk. My name's Peter. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.